So there you have it. There's what 3 pounds of fathead minnows looks like.
So here we are today. We're doing something pretty special and pretty unique. We're down here in downtown Kansas City at a bait store. And believe it or not, this place has been here longer than I've been around. This place is Minnesota Bait and Fly, but this is where you come if you're in the Kansas City area, if you want to get any kind of fresh bait. But we're here today to do something pretty cool. We're going to do it for our pond. We're here to buy minnows to put in my pond. So come on in and check this place out. So yeah, this place is really cool. I used to come here as a little kid. We would come here before we'd go up to Melbourne Lake or whatever and buy minnows. But what's cool is they put them in airbags here for you, and they'll last for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours at a time. And they've got every night crawler, crawdad, goldfish, all kinds of old school type of stuff here. So it's just a place where, you know, I have a lot of memories about this place. And what's crazy is it's packed today. You can tell it's cooled off, it's fall, and everybody's in here getting ready for the weekend to go fishing. But you can see they've got these really cool tanks here. Yeah, and that's the thing. Anymore, it's hard to find places that sell good, fresh, live bait. But a lot of your smaller, you know, gas stations and all that, they will come here to get their minnows to sell in their store. So this is kind of like the wholesale place, but it's pretty neat. So come on back and I'll show you the really cool place of where they keep all the goodies. So I mean, this is what's just crazy. This place specializes in all kinds of bait. There's the Kansas-Missouri River here. They do a lot of catfishing. So you can see, I've never seen such a selection of catfish bait before in my life. They've got all these specialty styles and models. So I mean, they've just got everything here. I've never seen this before. I love coming to see it. This kind of reminds me of when we be down at Florida going saltwater fishing, but this actually looks like saltwater baits here. But like I said, they do a lot of specialty, you know, they do a lot of catfishing around here. So I would assume this is for the catfishing here on the Kansas and Missouri River. It's a neat place. If you've never come to an actual bait store like this is a neat place to come and see. If you ever want to get bait, this is the place to come and check it out. So now we're going back to the really cool part of the store. As you can see, they stock it all. So Eric, I know you don't like being on camera, but tell me real quick, this is where the magic happens right here. That's what makes this place so unique, right? Is because this is spring fed, right?
Yeah, we got a well right there.
So it's from a well that's under Kansas City, Kansas here that provides you with fresh water, right? Which you could never do in a normal setting. So this is a very unique place back here. As you can see, they have a ridiculous amount of bait back here. So what we are getting right now is we're getting 15 pounds of fathead minnows for my pond. Wow, that's crazy.
It keeps it nice and cool too.
Yeah, and yeah, the temperature. So like how many pounds would be in here?
Right now we've got 800 in that one.
800 pounds. Holy cow. And where do these come from?
Arkansas, Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas, because at Central Arkansas is where the breeders are.
Yeah, it just looks like rice fields there.
So yeah, those big, massive fish farms. Wow. And do the goldfish come from there as well?
Yeah, there's a farm in the same area.
Right. So do you get crawfish in very often?
March through July.
March through July, okay. So yeah, so this place has a well underneath it, so it pumps well water in it. So where if it was another type of bait store that maybe wasn't grandfathered in or whatever, they'd have to have water tied into the city water system, and they would have to treat the water and do all that. So from a cost-effective way, it just wouldn't work. So that's what makes this place so unique. I love coming down here. This kind of brings back the old memories of where where my roots came from.
How long has this been here?
How long has Minnesota Bait been here?
Mid-60s.
The mid-60s. So this bait store has been here longer than I've been alive. I'm 52 years old. I was born in 72, and they said it was been here since the mid-60s. So that puts it into perspective how many minnows have been through this place. So as you can see, he's taken these minnows. How many do you put in a bag at a time?
3 pounds per bag.
3 pounds per bag, and then he puts, this is oxygen, right?
Yeah, pure oxygen.
So they'll live for how long?
Several hours.
They'll live for, you know, several hours. I remember back when we would maybe, what was funny is I love this about Minnesota bait. There'd be I don't know if is your sign still up there about the dozen minnows? I don't know if there's a sign here still, but there used to be a sign at Minnesota Bait that says, do you want a dozen minnows, and it would have 12 minnows on it, or do you want Minnesota's dozen minnows, which you'd order. They couldn't count very well down here. You'd come down here and you'd order 2 dozen shiners and you get like 4 or 5 dozen. So if you've never been down to Minnesota Bait, come down here and check this place out. Eric will set you up. Wow.
I wish I could see that sign. I haven't even seen that sign.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I've seen pictures.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I always remember that sign of, you know, here's a dozen minnows, or do you want Minnesota's? Because I think I just had, do all these come from Arkansas?
Yeah.
So they do the goldfish and the shiners and all that there.
Two
Then.
different bait farms.
Okay, interesting.
In the spring, it's a semi a week. We do a semi every other week.
Wow. But then you guys sell to how many bait stores in little gas stations and all
Pretty
that?
much all of them.
Really? Wow. That's impressive. Very, very cool. Sell them now, huh?
Right.
Wow. Okay.
And every state is different. If I sell to a state, I try to just all the fish.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I try to just follow all the rules.
So here it is. We've got 15 pounds, about 3 pounds per bag. So I got, 6 pounds here? People are fishing. It's that time of year, right?
Yeah, the crappie guys are starting to catch fish again.
Are they? Yeah.
The fish guys have done really good this season.
Really? Where down on the rivers mostly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's better, the Kansas or Missouri?
Probably the Missouri is more reliable just
Is
because
it?
there's more water in it.
Is it? Okay.
It's
Interesting.
seared.
2,500 minnows roughly. You want to count them? Roughly 2,500 minnows. Just got here to the house. We got Bobby's fancy ride here, the Nissan Rogue that we got all the minnows in here. So we're going to drop these things in the pond so they can acclimate to the water temps, and I'll go get my boots on and then we'll let them go. So yeah, you can see, you know, we've been 45 minutes or whatever, so, but they've, you know, got this oxygen here, got in these nice little bags, and there you have it. How many did he say were in a bag?
3 pounds.
So there you have it. There's what 3 pounds of fathead minnows looks like. Anybody want to take a guess on how many are in there? Yeah, Eric was telling me the water that they keep the minnows in there at the bait store was 61 degrees. I'm guessing probably the water in my pond's got to be in the, you know, somewhere in the 70s. So we got to let these things get acclimated before we let them go. So, okay, so we got to the pond. We dropped all the minnows off down at the pond, and we basically had to put the bags down here. I set them down here up against the dock, and we got to let them sit for 15 to 20 minutes because it's, like I said, it's 61 degree temperatures at Minnesota Bait. I'm guessing the water temp in my pond's probably 70, 75 degrees. So we have to let them acclimate for a while. And then as you can see, I just kind of slowly put some water in there, not to shock them. And then we let them go here in the pond. And hopefully they're going to swim under my dock. I've got my mossback fish habitats under there. So they'll go get in the prey area and kind of stay safe. But obviously they're going to get out there at times, and they're going to feed my bass and maybe even some of my bigger bluegill. And what this is going to do, this is going to alleviate some of the pressure off of my bluegill that are, I think, the primary forage in my pond as well. So needless to say, we had some wind that day, and it actually worked out good because I wanted to disperse the minnows, and a couple of my bags blew across the pond. So here we just hopped on the Ranger and drove to the other side of the pond. And I'm going to put some out here. Like I said, I wanted to disperse the minnow population around the pond anyway, so it actually worked good. It just, they're over here where I hadn't actually mowed and made it a little bit more of a challenge to get these minnows released in the pond. But as you can see, I've got a lot of vegetation along the shore there, and you can probably see some little stick-ups along the, a little bit deeper. Those are my mossback fish habitats out there. So it gives the fish plenty of places to go hide and feed my big fish.